What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Timbo, and I'm back with another Pogo video. We're gonna do some little jungle cup. I love this LTM, it's one of my favorites in the game. We're gonna be rocking with Galarian Stunfish, Ducklett, and Cottonee. I love this team. It got me from 1974 TMR, close to 2200. Went 5 out of 5 back to back, then went 4 out of 5 back to back, and then 3 out of 5. Super amazing team. I love it. Let's get into the commentary. And so at the top of my head, I don't remember what execute had. And so I shielded up. We're chopping it down, trying to get as much as we can. And my favorite thing about Ducklett is its bubble beam. No matter what, shield or not, it takes -1 attack. And on top of that, it's the perfect move to bait to use Brave Bird later, which you'll see in a couple videos later how that'll come into fruition. But I love it. Now we get another bubble beam, either do minus chip damage, but no matter what, help that attack go down. We end up pulling a shield. Now we get back-to-back bubble beam. I didn't have enough to try to get that Brave Bird off, but it's perfect because we have Cottonee. Super sleeper. I love its fast move charm because there's so many dark types and so many dragons in this LTM meta for Little Jungle Cup that Cottonee can just charm it all the way down, and it's a bulky Pokemon overall. So Cottonee did his job. You do the rock slide, and then after that, Ducklett used his last shield. But we had 2 in the bag, baby. And that will be it for Ducklett. And there goes game 1. So moving on to the next match. Peg 999. They're coming in with a Bulbasaur. So we're not too worried about it. Bulbasaur, it's a good Pokemon, but it takes a while to get its charge moves. So I want to personally see how much damage it did. So in future endeavors. And so we let the first one go by. Stunfish, as we said, is tanky, so it survives. We get a rock slide in, which is huge, but we get two rock slides. And so that's as good as it gets, because now both are knocked out, but they lost the shield and we didn't, which is huge. So as you see, there's a standstill and no Pokemon coming out. We're both waiting on each other to release the first Pokemon so we can counter. The timer went out and we happened to win it because they had a Shadow Cacnea and our Ducklett's chopping it down. And so now it's Ducklett versus Ducklett. I wasn't counting at the time, so I don't know if I had Brave Bird or not, and I didn't want to risk it. So I just used my last shield, and there it is. Try to get the Brave Bird off, they shield. No complaints though. But as you see, if you guys don't know, in the original Pokemon games, Brave Bird took recoil whenever you did it. And so in PoGo, if you do Brave Bird, your defense goes down severely and it goes -2. But if you swap out, it resets your defense. And so right after I did Brave Bird, I swapped out. So after the move was -2, I swapped out and boom, it's back to its neutral 0 regular defense. So that's a good thing to know. We end up finishing that game, chopping it up. And as you see, Ducklett's here again. Ducklett's huge in this meta. It's really top 5 Pokemon you can have. Me personally, I don't use it as a lead. I like to have it as a safe swap, depending, or Cottonee as a safe swap. And so they're going against Ducklett. We know it can't take us out with Aerial Ace, Brave Bird, or Bubble Beam. So we're going to stay in, and we know our Rock Slide can do monster damage. They know Rock Slide can do monster damage. So in the midst of that, we burned off 2 of their shields. So close to getting that 3rd Rock Slide, but no complaints because now, no matter what move we do for Cottonee or Ducklett, we know that they can't shield. So with that, I'm going to use Brave Bird. I'm going to take out their Ducklett. And as we said earlier, our defense is now -2. So once we use it, we want to swap quickly to reset our stats, and boom, Cottonee to Cottonee action. And the best part is we have 1 more shield than they do. And so I could decide to use it or not. And we got so lucky that our C-Bomb went first, because that's crucial, because now I didn't have to forfeit my shield. I could keep it for whatever the last Pokemon is. And it was a Swinub, which is doing monster damage. So I used my last shield, and the best part is I get to do Brave Bird after. As you guys see, I didn't do Brave Bird right when I had it unlocked, because if I did, I would have had -2 defense, and Swinub's ice move would have did way more. So I want to chop it down with my fast move to get it in range, and once it was in range, use my Brave Bird, take it out. And so next we have a Togekiss, which is super weird because I actually haven't seen one in all my matches. This was the one and only one that I seen. And I didn't know what moveset it had, so I let it go by. I'm happy it had Aerial Ace because after that, I charged up to 2 Rock Slides. They shield the first, and honestly, I knew Aerial Ace was gonna come out. I didn't think it had a second move. It was a risk, but I took it. Now we get another rock slide, and they have to decide how much they love Togekiss, and apparently they love it enough. So we use our first shield, because we know rock slide can one tap Togekiss, and that's why they use all their shields. So there it is, we one tap it. Next comes the Cottonee, and this is where Ducklett can start chopping. And I love it because since Stunfish is so bulky, there's a lot of times that not only we don't use one shield, but sometimes we could use no shields. And we can have Cottonee or Ducklett in the back, and they can have 2 shields, which is gonna come crucial late game, especially not knowing what they have in the back. You can make assumptions, but nowadays teams run so many different, from AAB to ABA to ABC, so you never know how they're gonna set their team. So having that extra shield with Stunfish is amazing. So we take that away. Coming into the next matchup, I don't know why I let the video stay this long, but next matchup we got BD Mike, has an Umbreon. So we talked about that a little bit earlier, how Connie's charm is good against all these dark and dragon types in the game right now for the cup, but Stunfish is so bulky, we let it go by because we know it can only learn dark moves unless you get the last resort or legacy move on Umbreon. So now we get 2 rock slides off. One does damage, one takes the shield, and knowing that we have Cottonee in the back, we let Stunfish go because now we can start chopping it down and we can save that shield. If you guys don't have a Stunfish, it can be in 500 comps, LTMs, 1500s. You gotta find it on your team and build around it. Galarian Stunfish is so amazing. If you can build a team around it, I promise you, you will see a lot of victories in that tab of yours. So the Ivysaur does Sludge Bomb. We shield up because it's pretty bulky. We get a Seed Bomb off. We take its shield, and now it's 1v1 Ducklett versus Noctowl, doing flying moves. And I was super scared because I know Shadow Ball does a lot of damage. I actually thought Shadow Ball would kill me, but it didn't. And we know Brave Bird will. Such a great move. Take out the Noctowl. That one had me sweating. Happy won. And there it is, folks. 5 out of 5 in Little Jungle Cup. I love that team. Super strong, super amazing. I'm gonna show you the Pokemon I actually caught. It's just a regular Onix, but the stats was amazing. I usually delete Onix, so I have so many Onix and Steelix. But this one came out actually to, I'm gonna tell you, like 98%. So thank you guys for tuning in. If it's your first time, hit that subscribe, hit that like. If you've been here, much love for tuning in once again. And we out, baby. Peace. I guess not, I'm typing 98 Onix. When does this cut? Peace. I gotta work on my editing skills. Okay.